What's up? What's good, everybody? It is officially the best time of year. The Stanley Cup Playoffs are here. I mean, technically, it officially starts tomorrow, but it is day 0, aka the precipice, aka the eve of every hockey fan's favorite time of year. Bring on the chaos, bring on the upsets, bring on the double overtime, and bring on Game 7. Oh yeah. You know how it is, but I'm here to make predictions for each and every single one of the first round series. I'm actually challenging myself to hop on here, as the kids say, every single day and give you my red hot, maybe sometimes lukewarm, maybe most of the time ice cold thoughts on each and every day of these Stanley Cup playoffs. Why do this to myself? I have no idea. My ambition knows no bounds. So we'll see how many days I actually make it, but this is day 0 and we are making predictions. I'm gonna boast confidently about all the things I'm absolutely sure will happen, only to look like an idiot in 2 weeks, but that's hockey, baby. So let's do this thing. We will start in the Scotia North All-Canadian Division because honestly, I think it's the easiest one to predict. First up, Leafs versus Habs, and I'm going with Toronto in this one. All year I've been waiting for one of these teams to show they can challenge the Leafs for first place. I thought it would be the Winnipeg Jets. Just never happened. I mean, the Leafs have been better than everyone else in this division by a country mile. So I'm going with Toronto. However, I don't think Montreal is as bad as people think. I'm hearing a lot of people say the Habs are going to get swept. But if I learned anything from last year's bubble, and I was there in person, it's that the Habs are built for playoff hockey. And if they have one thing going for them, it's that they're going to fight. And if Carey Price can steal even one game, they avoid the sweep. Plus, the Montreal Canadiens actually played 25 games in 43 days down the stretch. That is asinine. They're going to get a few days to practice, a few days to rest. I think it will pay off for them. I think they're capable of winning a game, but because I actually respect what they did last year against the Pens, I'm gonna say Toronto in 6. In the other All-Canadian series, it's the Oilers and the Jet Skis. I just talked about how I wanted Winnipeg to challenge Toronto all season long for top spot in the All-Canadian division. It never happened. It never even really came close to happening, and for that reason I'm taking the Edmonton Oilers, even though I actually think that the Winnipeg Jets all around are actually a better squad, a deeper squad on paper. I want to believe the Jets will figure it out. I really do, because like I said, I do think they're the better all-around team, but I just don't see it happening, and it might be really dumb to bet against Connor McDavid right now. So for all of those reasons, and the fact that as a hockey fan, in my heart of hearts, I would just love to see Connor McDavid versus Austin Matthews in the second round, I'm gonna go with the Oilers, but I'm gonna say in 7 games because I think in true Edmonton fashion, they might make life difficult for themselves. What division should we do next? Let's go to my favorite division from this year, the Central Division, and boy oh boy, do we have a matchup between the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Oh baby. Here it is. This is my first upset prediction, although a lot of people like the Panthers, I think. I feel like the Panthers are a very obvious, likable dog in this situation. I don't know what the odds are. I haven't looked. I just think that the Florida Panthers have something brewing. That is a different team. There is a different energy coming off of that team. Coach Q has completely changed the culture. But I'm not only taking the Florida Panthers because they won home ice and they took 5 of 8 games from Tampa in the regular season. It's not even about that for me. All of the experts will say, Tampa's not in danger. They proved last year they could win without Stamkos. All regular season long, they proved they could win without Kucherov. But can they win with a banged up Stamkos, a banged up Kucherov, a banged up Victor Hedman, and yada, yada, yada? I think the Bolts are capable of surviving and thriving without one of those guys. But if all 3 of them are kind of banged up or not 100%, especially Victor Hedman, this team is ripe for the picking. They are more than vulnerable in this situation. I think this has 7 games written all over it. Give me the Florida Panthers. Something doesn't feel right. And don't get on me about, oh, Hedman's fine. He's not 100%. And if he's getting hip surgery in the offseason, I don't know. I have some concerns. Give me the Cats. Elsewhere in the Central, the Carolina Hurricanes win the division. They will take on the Nashville Predators, who I spent the first half of the season calling fraudulent. And I'm not saying that they still are, but the main number one reason they're even in this position is because UC Saros decided to turn into Dominik Hasek for the second half of the year and just put up ungodly, disgusting, nasty numbers. I think a 941 save percentage over his last 23 games or some shit. Like, he has been lights out. So give me Carolina. This is not a difficult pick for me. I think that they basically steamroll Nashville, although I will say it's going to be 5 games, not a sweep, because I think UC Saros is still... I think UC Saros has one more, I'ma steal this one from you, left in his arsenal. So give me the Hurricanes in 5. Okay, in the West, we've got Colorado versus St. Louis and Vegas versus Mini. I'll start with the President's Trophy winning Colorado Avalanche. Give me the Avs all day long. I know the St. Louis Blues won the Cup a couple of years ago. They have the experience, yada, yada, yada. But the Blues are a team that all year long just couldn't quite seem to figure it out. They had a nice little stretch there near the end of the season, but I don't know. I'm just not buying it. Give me the Colorado Avalanche in 6. I just think that they're better. As for the Vegas Golden Knights and the Minnesota Wild, much, much, much more intriguing matchup here, because the Minnesota Wild, for whatever reason, just play the Vegas Golden Knights really well. It's the same situation, sort of, as the Panthers with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Florida ain't scared of Tampa, and I don't think the Minnesota Wild are scared of Vegas. They can hang, and they've proven it all season long. So I expect Kirill to keep up the thrills. I expect Minnesota to push Vegas to the brink, but I'm still taking the Golden Knights. And my one and only reason for that is they have the better goaltending in spades. Even if things go wrong with Marc-Andre Fleury, I still feel pretty confident with Robin Lehner. And Talbot's been a really nice story for the Wild, but Vegas is the better team. That will show over the course of 7 games, but I do think that the Minnesota Wild will push the Knights to 7 games, and I think we are going to see a ton of overtime in this series. Probably some double overtime. I love double overtime. Can we please? We need a double overtime in the first round. I don't care where it happens, but give me it. Might be the most entertaining series of the first round. We'll see. And finally, the East Division. The division everybody seems to think is the toughest, or was the toughest. We will start with Boston, Washington, the series that is kicking off this postseason in 2021. I don't know what it is, but Boston just seems to have some swagger right now, and the Caps really seem like they don't. I like the Bees. They've looked completely aligned since the trade deadline. Taylor Hall's been a massive acquisition. He just makes the rest of the lineup flush out nicely. David Krejci's playing well, and they got Tuukka Rask. And when it comes to goaltending, I'm taking Boston's goaltending over Washington's goaltending all day long. No disrespect to the kid, but I just think the Bees, top to bottom, they seem like they're more on the same page. They've got momentum. They're playing well. I'm gonna say Boston in 7. And what series am I missing? Oh yes, the Pittsburgh Penguins and the New York Islanders. This is a tough series. It really is. And I was pumping the tires of the Islanders about halfway through the season. Like, we need to give them respect. They went to the conference final last year. Nobody's talking about them like a cup contender. And while I still stand by those comments, Pittsburgh's looked good. Like, I don't know how deep Pittsburgh can go, but I do know that the Isles can't score right now. They are really missing Anders Lee. I remember when he got injured, people were like, oh, it won't affect them that much. They're not a high-scoring team. They score by committee, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, how's that working out? I am going to say the Pittsburgh Penguins win this series because here's the thing about Pittsburgh. Yes, they remember 2 years ago getting swept at the hands of these very New York Islanders. No doubt about it. Sidney Crosby remembers that. But what makes them even more dangerous based on motivations is that last year they went into the bubble and lost in a qualifying round to a team that under normal circumstances would never have even been there or in the playoffs, so to speak. So Pittsburgh is coming off back-to-back years where, they got owned 2 years ago, and last year they got a little bit embarrassed by the Habs. So I think Sidney Crosby and the Penguins are gonna come out something fierce against the Islanders. Give me the Penguins in 6. All right, you guys, that's what I got. Hit me up with your predictions in the comments. Who do you like? Who's your favorite pick to upset in the first round? How's that for wording? What team do you like to pull off an upset in the first round? How many overtimes will we have? How many game 7s will we have? How many double overtimes will we have? Give me the goods, give me the juice in the comments. I'm gonna hang out in there and try to chat with you. I hope you enjoyed this. This is day 0 of Red Hot Playoff Thoughts. Do we like this? Do we like this title? Red Hot Playoff Thoughts? Red Hot Playoff Thoughts. Do we like it? I don't know, but that's what I'm calling it for now. This was day 0. Good luck with all your brackets and your picks and all of the things, and I will see you tomorrow for day 1 of the Stanley Cup Playoffs. I'm so excited.